gentlemen, please rise. I'm going to ask Boy Scout Sullivan Schwetz, who is here for a badge, to please come up to the podium and lead us in the pledge. Sullivan?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and join the board in a moment of silence as we honor our veterans, our first responders, and our active military. This week, we ask that you keep in your thoughts and in your prayers two very special families to the Mineola community. Former Associate Judge Dick O'Callahan's wife, Marguerite, passed away this week. Dick O'Callahan was the Associate Judge for many, many years here in the village, so we ask that you keep the O'Callahan family in your thoughts and prayers. And unfortunately, we also lost someone who was very involved in the community, in the school, in our senior groups. Patty Purdy also passed away late last week, and we ask that you keep the Purdy family in your thoughts and your prayers. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our work session. I'll entertain a motion for approval of bills and payroll.
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Clark. Do I have a second? Second by Trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Rivera, while Mr. Rivera makes his way up, I'd just like to recognize that Trustee Salaski is not here this evening with us. She's unable to be at the meeting.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Rivera.
Resolved to approve a request by the Mineola Portuguese Center, Inc. for the use of Wilson Field parking lot in Field Number 2 for its carnival Friday, June 5th, 2026 through Sunday, June 7th, 2026.
And of course, this is an annual request. This is the Portuguese Carnival down at Wilson Field, and we shall soon also get the request for the parade, which will be on Sunday, June 7th. So Friday, June 5th, Saturday, June 6th, and Sunday, June 7th, the annual Portuguese Carnival at Wilson Field. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolved to approve Nationwide Towing as an additional 2026 tow car licensee.
Okay, last week we approved the list of tow cars licensees. We left them off, so we'd just like to add Nationwide to the list. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chacon.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. John
Good
G.
evening.
Good evening.
I have one item tonight. Resolved to authorize emergency repair of the elevator at the Mineola Fire Department. The contract is Otis Elevator Company. Total cost $8,550. Funding source 2526 General Fund and/or General Fund unreserved fund balance.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chacon. Mr. Palumbo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, request a resolution authorizing change order number 10 to the general contract representing a credit for the 1,4-dioxane PFOA and PFOS treatment project at Well 4. The vendor is Metro Group of Long Island, and the credit is in the amount of $750, and this change order represents a decrease in the overall contract amount.
Okay, I wish there was another zero at the end of that
Yes, so do I.
$750.
Couple zeros.
I guess, yeah, that would be nice. I'll entertain a motion to approve the credit.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And one more, request a resolution authorizing the engineering services for well number 5, electrical and mechanical upgrades. The engineers are D&B Engineers and Architects, DPC. The cost is $83,000, and the funding will come from the 2025-2026 water fund budget and/or the water fund unreserved fund balance.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, second by Trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd also like to mention, while we have Mr. Palumbo up here that they are calling for potentially significant snowfall this
Yeah,
weekend, Sunday into Monday. And I'd like to remind everyone, we kind of got used to very mild winters. Well, if nothing else, this winter of 25, 26 has reminded us that we do live in the Northeast, in New York, and it does snow, and sometimes it snows a lot. So we ask that you please follow us on social media, sign up for our notification systems. If you have any doubts, ask, but we really do need people to comply, take their cars off the road so we can plow, and especially if it is significant snowfall, it really complicates our operations if we're not able to get down these roads from curb to curb. So please make sure that you adhere to that. If you have a fire hydrant, we did read about a fire in a neighboring community that was delayed because the fire hydrant was frozen into the snowbank, and as a result, it was precious minutes that were lost in order to try to attack the fire. So if you have a fire hydrant, we ask that you clear that fire hydrant as well. If you live on a corner property, we ask that you clear a passage onto the street so that people can cross over. And certainly, again, not to add more work, but if you live near a bus stop, just keep that in mind as well, that children have to step off the curb to get onto the bus stop. So, and I know that there's always going to be mistakes made or the appearance of mistakes, but know that every house or every business that does not clean their sidewalks, does not clean their property, they are usually given a notice of violation. They are given 24 to 48 hours to rectify the situation, and then if they don't, they are given a summons, and that summons increases with each subsequent snowfall or each subsequent offense within the same year. So just because you see a business on Jericho, and it could be anybody from CVS to McDonald's or a mom and pop place, they do get a notice, they do get a visit from us, and in some cases, although we don't want to, we do give them a summons to encourage them to clean up their responsibility, which is the sidewalk, so that people can travel freely and safely, because we do not want to see people walking on Jericho Turnpike. We do not want to see people walking in the middle of the road, because that is dangerous. So just because you may not see a ticket affixed to the door doesn't mean that property owner has not been dealt with. They have been, okay? Anything else, Mr. Palumbo?
No, that's it.
That's it, okay.
Hopefully it stays south of us.
Yes, we hope, apparently the European model has less snow, the American model has more snow. We're cheering for the European model
Sit
this
in the
time.
middle. Yeah,
so,
we'll go for European.
okay, thank you. Mr. Gibbons?
No report, Mayor.
No report. Okay, we are just about at 7 o'clock, so we're going to go right into our public meeting. And as you just saw earlier this evening, we did have a small ceremony honoring this newfound relationship and exchange program between the Mineola Junior Fire Department, which celebrates its 50th year this year, and a group of junior fire department members from the nation of Panama. I had the privilege of leading them today on a field trip into New York City. We took the Long Island Railroad into the city, then the subway into Brooklyn Heights, and walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. It wasn't the greatest day, couldn't see the top of many of the buildings, but I certainly saw that they really enjoyed seeing many of the places that they'd see on TV now in real life. And then the highlight of our trip was a visit to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. I did take them to a traditional New York-style pizzeria. That's what they had. They had pizza and Coca-Cola. Can't get any more American than that. Great young men and women with great chaperones, and our juniors also joined us on this excursion. So it was really a great day. The weather could have been better, but it also could have been worse. So it was very nice. So I want to thank again Gary Mazer, who's the advisor to the Junior Fire Department, and the Carvalho Family Foundation, which is Manny Carvalho, who owns Churrasquera Bayrata across the street, who really was the impetus for getting this going, and really is responsible for a lot of the funding of getting these 10 young men and women from Panama here, and all the excursions. I know they went to Philadelphia yesterday. Today they They went to New York City with me, and I believe they're going into New York City a couple more times, and they are training with our juniors on Sunday as well. So I already see the relationships that are being forged between our junior fire department members and their junior fire department members. And then eventually, I don't know if it's this summer or this year or next year, our fire department will then go to Panama and kind of, do a reciprocal exchange. So great job by all. Really another reason why our fire department does such a great job and what makes our community special as well. And I do want to, I mentioned it earlier, but it is kind of surreal to think that last Wednesday, when we had a meeting here, a public meeting, Miss Patty Purdy came here, spoke to us, and unfortunately, 2 days later, she passed. I've known Patty Purdy for over 25 years. I taught all of her children. She is someone who's widely known in the community, who was a staunch defender of children and education, especially music education, and really loved being from Mineola. Didn't always agree with us, and certainly would let us know that very directly. That's what she was here for last Wednesday, but I do appreciate that. And I really, my heart goes out to her husband, Wayne, and their children and grandchildren. I believe that services are later this week. So I was very, very saddened to hear of Patty Purdy's passing. So my thoughts and prayers are with the Purdy family. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. I just wanted to wish an official warm welcome to all of the juniors from Panama. It's very great to see that we continue to do this as a community where we do sister cities and we do relationships with other fire departments in other countries. It's a really unique situation, and to see that interaction between our juniors and their juniors is just incredible. So I wish them a warm welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay here. I hope you all get something out of the training and out of just experiencing that cultural exchange with each other. Enjoy your stay here, and thank you again to the Carvalho family and to Gary Mazer to help us really coordinate all that. Another note, we have a flag raising coming up next Friday at 5 o'clock. The Irish flag will be raised right here in front of our fire department. Unfortunately, Panama won't be here. We should move that date. So anyway, our flag raising will be here at 5 o'clock in front of our fire department. Just a quick ceremony to kick off the St. Patrick's Day holiday and month of holiday here in Mineola, followed by the parade on March 1st. It's definitely, I think, the biggest and best in Long Island, so I hope to see you along the parade route, and hopefully that snow is gone along the parade route, and we'll have a great day to celebrate. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Casado.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. So speaking about our juniors, Sunday, March 8th is their annual pasta dinner here at the community center between noon and 5 p.m. It's a great, again, it's their annual event. Half the community comes here. It's a great day to meet your residents, your neighbors, and support the juniors. So again, Sunday, March 8th, it's the Sunday right after our St. Patty's Day parade. So again, Sunday, March 8th.
That's it? Okay. Thank you. Trustee Clark.
Good evening, and I also want to welcome the Panamanian junior fire members. Very impressed with their behavior tonight. They showed tremendous respect for our country and for being here, and I was very impressed. So congratulations to them. And then just to touch on the St. Patrick's Day Parade, again, it's Sunday, March 1st, 1 o'clock step-off. It is probably the largest parade on Long Island. Everyone is welcome to come down and participate, and then down to the Irish Society on Willis Avenue following the parade for celebration. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Clark. Oh, no, there's no Trustee Salaski. Okay. I would also like to mention that today we officially publicized, announced, released our concert schedule for the summer. I know it's hard to think of summer when we look outside, but we have 9 concerts at Memorial Park throughout, starting May, the end of May, May 29th, I believe, is the first one, all the way through September. And we have 3 concerts on 2nd Street, Sounds on 2nd. And I do want you to put in your calendars July 19th is important for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, we will be celebrating the 250th anniversary of our country with a Liberty Festival at Wilson Park. That will include a concert by a Billy Joel tribute band, the Cold Spring Harbor Band. We will have fireworks as well to celebrate our country. And just ironically enough, it also coincides with the final of the World Cup of Soccer, which is being held right here in New York, New Jersey. So we'll have a big screen, a watch party, a concert, and fireworks on July, probably some hot dogs and apple pie as well, to celebrate our country, to celebrate Mineola, and to celebrate the World Cup final. So put that in your calendar on July 19th at Wilson Park. All the other events, all the other concerts, you can find it on mineolaevents.com, or you can follow us on social media. Go to our Facebook page today, and you'll see that the entire schedule was put there. And I think we have a little bit of everything for everybody. And all the concerts start at 7:30, okay? And anything else, Ms. Pardo? No? Anything else?
I have one thing. This Monday was a holiday, so if your garbage wasn't picked up, it's because it was probably not supposed to be outside. So just check the schedule, because this week is an off week with sanitation.
Right, very good, thank you. Okay, now we'd open it up to public comment. Anybody in the 5th row? Anybody in the 6th row? That's you guys, yep, come on up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
evening.
My name's Dominic Fortino. I live on Berkeley Road in Mineola. I've been a resident here for 45 years. Very happy to live here. I just purchased a second home, but I have no intention of leaving Mineola. We had an incident on our corner this week. I don't know if any of you are aware, but there was a minor accident on the corner of Old Country Road in Berkeley. And it was inevitable, and I've been waiting 45 years for it, and it finally happened. One of the cars went up on the sidewalk and hit the gatehouse on our corner. The damage is, it's not terrible damage, but there's, it needs attention, okay? As far as a safety issue, I'll have a little bit of a construction background. It doesn't appear to me that there's a very dangerous condition there. The structure shifted off the footing, and it cantilevered the upper structure a little bit, but it doesn't appear to be in any danger of falling down. I would have, raised the red flag if I thought it was a really dangerous situation. The point is that there was an accident report made. There were 2 vehicles involved. I don't know whose fault it was. One of them has Hartford insurance, the other one has Geico insurance. And these things have been a point of contention sometimes with the village. Should they be repaired? Shouldn't they be repaired? Should they be upkept? Over the years, the village has come a few times and has done some upgrades on them and maintained them somewhat and painted and whatnot. Now I called I put in a request online to, let everybody know what happened and all, because I didn't know if the police reported it or not. But in any event, I spoke to someone from Public Works, Sarah. She was in the office, and she said she spoke to, I guess, her supervisor or whatever, and he's aware of it. But they said that they're not responsible for that. And I said, okay, well, how can you tell me after all this time you're not responsible for it when you've come here in the past and have done some work on it? I understand it could be at your discretion, whether you're going to repair these things or not. She also said that they're like, indicated that they were like my property. And I said, well, I don't really see how they're my property, but, we've had this conversation before. And it seemed like the part of the structure that's off the sidewalk on my property is mine, and the other side, I believe, is the village's, but I could be wrong. It's not on my survey. The only thing that shows on my survey is the small cement side. So I called my homeowner's insurance to see, and they said if it's not on your survey, you don't have coverage. So you know, I don't know where we're at right now. The only thing I have to say is that I know the village didn't want to take on the expense in the past and stuff like that, but they do have a historical significance. They are the last two gatehouses. They make a nice presence. People talk about them all the time, okay? And the fact is that someone damaged them, you know, so they should be held responsible. I mean, their insurance company will certainly, you know, if we supply an estimate to their insurance company, you know, the village or whatever, for repairs, I'm certain, I mean, if they knock down a light pole or a telephone pole, the insurance companies get billed. I don't see why this is different, but I could be wrong, you know.
So, yes, I am aware of it. So I'm just gonna, first and foremost, how is it living with Doris full-time at home?
It's
Now that she's
it's
retired.
challenging, it's challenging, okay?
It's so bad that you have to come out to a
Well,
meeting
it's
on a
our-
Wednesday night.
It's our 50th year together this year.
Congratulations.
And the way we got this
think,
far was,
yes.
I used to be out of the house 14 to 16 hours a day, so it was, you know, it's
Well,
like, it's, now that I just retired, it's like we're on our honeymoon.
Great, well,
That's nice.
we miss Doris, I miss Doris. So ironically enough, and I can't believe it's been 18 or 19 years, whatever, I guess it's been about 18 years since I got on the board, and one of the very first things that we dealt with was this. There was a different board then, there was a different superintendent of public works, there was a different village attorney, and I don't know if we're gonna get you at a satisfactory answer right now, but I know that Clerk Rivera and I spoke about getting that police report, okay?
Well,
Once
I
we
have
get
it.
that, okay,
Well, I
once we
just
get the
have the
police report,
Information.
and then we're
numbers and
going to
stuff.
follow up that angle. I'm gonna talk to Mr. Gibbons about, and the building department and Mr. Palumbo, because there is, when that section of the village, as you know, called the Mott section, was built, they built these gatehouses, but they really didn't attribute them to anybody, not to you and not to us. And it's, you know, at least what I remember back from 2008, we almost came to an agreement where you guys were gonna buy the supplies, or we were gonna buy the supplies.
Yeah.
We were gonna buy the supplies, and you were going to arrange for a carpenter or whatever to do it, because the wood was a special kind of wood, and the slate roof and all that. I agree with you. As Doris knows, I'm a history teacher, and I think that those are worth saving. I just wanna make sure that we do it in a way that is legal for you and for us, and that protects you and it protects us. And it's kind of a conundrum, because part of it is on your property and part of it is on the right-of-way. And then some people may argue that, you know, you're responsible for maintaining the right-of-way, but your homeowner's insurance, as you just said no, it's not on your survey. So I don't wanna say too much, because I don't wanna prejudice anything that we may be able to do. So give us some time to talk to Mr. Gibbons. We're gonna follow the police report. I certainly think that they are worth, I said this back in 2008, and I'll say it now, they are worth saving, they are worth preserving, and if there's a way that we can figure out how to do it, whether it be through a grant or through some kind of agreement between us and those two corner homeowners, I don't know, we'll explore that. But just, you know, give us some time to work on the legal
that's-
part of it.
that's
Because you can
basically-
imagine that we fix this for you, somebody says, well, fix something for me,
Yeah.
you know? So we just wanna make sure that we do it right, and hopefully they'll be there for another 50 years.
Well, there's just a couple of things that changed since the last time in talking about these things.
Right.
First of all, there's someone that should be responsible for financially,
Right,
somewhat, you know,
Right.
for damaging it. I
right,
mean, you
well,
know,
those
that's-
people, one of
yeah,
those two drivers, or
right,
both.
Or
Right.
both. And the other thing is, when they were erected, I guess in 33 or 34, this wasn't such a litigious world. So
Right.
I understand your concerns, those are my concerns as well.
Right.
But I realize that there's got to be a solution, you know, and I hope we can arrive
But
at one.
we have different players now, and hopefully we can, you know,
Okay.
that we can bend the rules of the game.
I appreciate that. And most of the block is on board, and I think if it came to the point of people pitching in somewhat,
Okay.
financially, whatever, I
Well,
think it would
listen,
work.
it's not gonna
would work.
be, we're not building the east
No,
wing
right,
of the White
exactly.
House.
Right, exactly. All right, thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, Mr. Fortino. Good to see you. Anybody else in the 6th row? No? Anybody in the 7th row? Sullivan, you don't want to come up? No? You sure? Well, guess what? I'm going to call you up, so be ready.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Not so good,
Okay, what's the matter?
sadly. Well, this is an ongoing situation. I think, remember, I don't know if you do. It's about the halfway houses that have been going around for years already.
Halfway houses?
Yes.
Okay.
So Kathy Hochul is bringing these halfway houses with different names now. She calls them transitional homes, group homes, whatever to, I guess they don't need any kind of permit or license. That's why the first time I told you about these houses, you didn't have any idea about them. So the way we found out in my neighborhood is when one of the inmates died from a drug overdose. And they're smoking weed the whole day. The kids have to get high when they go to the backyard. I have to get high. I never done drugs in my life. So this is outrageous. And this is, last time I was here, it was, I don't know if you remember Valerie Rose. She
Yes.
moved to Florida because of them. She sold her house for generations. She loved that house. She had to move because of these people. And a lot of people are scared. They don't want to say anything because they think they're going to get killed because these are criminals. And these are not just any criminals. These are the criminally insane. They come from insane asylums. That's why the houses are being rented by the Mental Health Association of Nassau County. So they don't bring criminals from any jail. They bring the crazies, from the nut house. And that's what we have. So instead of sending them to jails, they send them to these insane asylums. So I have to deal with them the whole day and the whole night because they don't sleep. Whatever drugs they're doing, because they get drugs from the government. And I'm guessing all that weed they smoke, they get it from the government as well, right? They don't have any money, they don't work. They're there the whole day, thinking God knows what, planning God knows what, Nobody around my neighborhood are happy with this. And the smell, the stench, you can even go to your backyard. And I told you about this. It's almost
I
2
remember.
years ago.
I remember.
Nothing has been done. It got worse because now we don't even know if these people are sex offenders. Nobody's checking them. They keep switching them all the time. And they say they're going to be like 4 at a time. These are men, only men, fighting age, male. And we don't know who they are. They keep switching them. Who knows if they're sex offenders or not?
Well, I think that, and I do remember when you came here last time, and we responded last time, and we responded again about 2 weeks ago, and you're right, we did not know about that house. And as you know from last time and from subsequent conversations, we visited the house twice, including within the last month. We inspected the house. As far as what we can do in the village of Mineola, it's legal, it's up to code, they have the fire alarms, they are not violating any village ordinances, they are not, doing anything wrong inside in terms of plumbing, electrical, locks on doors, or safety, life safety issues. So as far as what we can do, there's nothing else that we can do other than to make sure that they are following village code. And they are following village code. I don't know about the accusation, because you made a wide variety of accusations. They're criminals, they're crazy, they're from insane asylums, they are violent, they are,
I've done my research.
Okay, that's fine, but even if all of those things are true, we, the Incorporated Village of Mineola, do not have jurisdiction over those types of issues, no more than I have jurisdiction over immigration policy. So mental health is treated through Nassau County and the state, not the village of Mineola. As long as they follow the laws of Nassau County, the laws of New York State, and the building codes of the village of Mineola, and I empathize with you. I have a group home 5 houses away from me, yes, we'd all love to pick our neighbors and pick, you know, what everybody lives, and I empathize with, obviously, this is something that's, you know, impacting your quality of life, and I appreciate that, but we can't just go around and kick people out of their house if they're following the law. We just don't have the mechanism to do that. What we can do, you bring things to our attention. There are people in the basement, there are people doing this, there are people doing that, they are, you know, violating village code. We go in, and we have gone in, and they have let us in. And the Nassau County Mental Health Department was there with us. They allowed us to inspect everything, and there was nothing that we found that was in violation of village code. So as
Who is
far-
checking if they're sex offenders or not?
Well, again, that is not, unfortunately, or fortunately, that is not our job. We do not check the registry of sex offenders or not. I trust that, I know that as a school teacher and as a resident, when there is a sex offender, we get a notification. I have never gotten a notification for
So
that
who
home.
checks then?
So, but here's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't maintain the sex offender registry.
Who does?
The national government, the state government, and the county government. So
Can you name any names? Because I have to. I've been calling a lot of lawmakers, and they all tell me that you have a lot of power over the village.
Yes, I do. I have a lot of power over village laws, village codes, which do not encompass sex offenders, mental health, we don't have a Department of Health. We don't have a Department of Social Services. We don't have an immigration department. We don't have a police department. We don't have any of those departments that could enforce laws that are violated under those statutes. What we do have is a building department that enforces laws that violate our building code.
But
That's
this is
what
an
we have.
incorporated village. Why
Correct.
can you fix the thing about marijuana smoking?
So marijuana, and I'm with you, I'm not somebody who appreciates, I was just in New York City with our guests today, you smell it everywhere. For better or for worse, this state has chosen to legalize recreational marijuana.
There are
So-
other places in Long Island that they have prohibited.
Well, we have prohibited the retail sale. We opted out. You cannot sell marijuana in, you know how many calls I get a week from people who would love to open up dispensaries in Mineola? All the time. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further. There's not a single municipality in the county of Nassau that has opted in. You will not find one recreational marijuana dispensary in Nassau County. Why? Because all 64 villages, all 3 towns, and both cities opted out of New York State's recreational marijuana dispensaries. So what you will find is marijuana dispensaries in East Farmingdale, which is in Suffolk County, in the town of Babylon, which is in Suffolk County, or you'll find them right over the border in Queens County. So the Village of Mineola, does not permit the sale of marijuana. However, the consumption of marijuana for recreational use, we can't prevent people from smoking marijuana because it's legal, no more than we can prevent you from having a margarita in your backyard.
Okay, so why can these houses be listed so new homeowners know where they're moving to? Like, if I was a new homeowner, I would like to know if there's one of these houses next to me. I'm not gonna buy that house. Nobody wants to buy a house next to criminals and whatever they are.
Okay, so I don't know if there's a list. I would imagine that the Department of Social Services or the Mental Health Department of Nassau County, if you went on their website, there's probably a list of those
No.
homes, but
I file a FOIA request and they deny it
Okay.
because they want to protect the criminals, of course.
Well,
Not the homeowners, not the regular people, not decent working people. They want to protect the criminals, and it's always that way.
So my understanding is.
And by the way, I'm sorry to
Oh,
cut you
sure.
off,
Go ahead.
but I don't know if you know this, but Kathy Hochul is planning to get this worse. She has a big budget already to bring 3,500 more houses of this in Long Island. And it's on Google. You can find it. It's on Kathy Hochul's pages.
So what I would.
It's gonna get worse.
Okay. My understanding, when we visited the house last time and this time, as it was explained to us, but again, you're saying they're criminals, we're being told they are not criminals, they are people who are dependent on substance abuse, right, dependent, and may have mental health issues.
No, no,
along
no,
with
no,
that.
no.
So,
I know everything. I've done my research.
so what kind of
They're-
crimes have they committed?
They are They're not going to tell me that because they have to protect, of course, their integrity.
Crimes
Okay,
are
they
public.
They come from insane asylum. I'm not exaggerating. Insane asylums, jails, homelessness, whatever is like the worst of the worst.
So like murderers, rapists?
Who knows? All of that, all
No,
of
no,
the above, all of
well,
it.
you know. So
Because,
what
no,
crimes
no,
have they committed?
because they have to protect their privacy, they say. They won't release any information like that. But they do come from insane asylums, jails, and homelessness, all of that.
Okay, if you say so.
It's online.
Okay.
You could just research. And can I ask you a question?
And I'm just going to
Why-
tell you,
no,
I'm not
why-
here to,
why-
to
Why
to
aren't
pander,
you?
but
No.
just so you
One
know,
more
New York
question,
State,
and I'm gonna,
New York State.
I'm gonna
Okay,
leave.
you interrupted me before, so now let me finish, please. And again, you're entitled to say whatever you want. Doesn't make it true, but
It's true. It's online. So I know this is being recorded. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
who watches this, they can just go online.
can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
New York State does not have, has not had for a very long time, so-called insane asylums, right? That is a term that is no longer used. I think our approach to mental health is very different than that. So when you say they're coming from insane asylums, I don't know what insane asylums you think they're coming from, but insane asylums, as you are describing
Potatoes,
them,
potatoes is the same
Okay.
thing, the crazies.
the crazy.
And can I ask you one more question? Why aren't you outraged about the whole situation in your community? And there are a few of these houses here. Where's your outrage?
What am I supposed to be outraged at? That people are following the law that's made by New York State?
Okay.
So what would
see.
outrage do? What would outrage do for me? I still wouldn't be able to change your situation.
People don't like to live next to crazies when you're paying so much taxes. You move away from the city to move away from these situations, right? And now suddenly, no warning, no notifications. Suddenly, you wake up next to these crazy criminals and God knows what.
So what would you do if you were me?
I would make it public. I would make public awareness of this.
And what would that do?
Well, at least give me the choice. I want to move out. I don't want to live
Well, you
next.
have the choice. You can move out.
But not now,
Why not?
because I don't have the money to move out right now.
Okay, but so you're in my
So
seat.
you're asking me to move out, to leave?
No, I'm not asking you to move out.
Yes, you're
No,
saying
I'm not
that.
asking you to move
You're
out.
being very
Don't put words-
disrespectful
No,
over
okay.
my feelings.
Okay.
I have to live this day in and
I've
day out and
literally,
smell it
I've
and
literally
hear it.
said that I empathize with you and I respect your opinion. I literally said that, and I continue to say that. I'm not minimizing your feelings. What I'm asking you is, I've explained to you the limits of our power in the village. Every time you've called, we've gone to the house. We've made sure that they are following the laws that we can enforce. We have done that. What you should be doing then is going to your county legislator, going to your state legislator, go speak to Kathy Hochul's representative and ask them to change the law. But if you had somebody in your family who suffered from mental health or substance abuse, you would want them to be treated humanely. No?
Please. Okay. I think I heard enough. I know what your position is, and I talked to a few lawmakers that you know, and they told me you have a lot of power, but I guess you just don't care. It's a shame.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Shame on you for saying that, ma'am.
No, shame on you for letting
No, shame on you for your disrespect to the mayor. Shame on you.
Shame on you. You don't have to live
Okay,
there.
thank you. Thank you. Anybody else in the seventh row? Sullivan, you've earned your badge.
Yeah,
You've earned your badge. This is what, badge in the community? Government in the community? Communications. Well,
There
you
you
just
go.
saw a lot of communication. And we have students here from the Hofstra School of Journalism. They didn't think they were gonna get this, did they? How are you gonna report this story? Yeah, you got something to
Wow.
report now. Anybody else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the public meeting.
motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Have a great night. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen.
She doesn't understand the limits of what you could do. She doesn't want to hear it. I mean, I empathize with that.
I'll come down.